Me and my friend are talking about how Japanese guys are really good. Hi guys, I'm crying on the streets of Kyoto right now because we went into this really nice shop. It was so kind to us.
Shinji is grandpa in the neighborhood, and no, they are not blood related, but family is not always blood. So 3 years ago, Roman and Shinji met as we moved into the neighborhood.
These are some of the kind things strangers in Japan have done for me. Starting off the list strong, it was my very first time visiting Osaka.
日本を訪れた外国人女性たちが思わず涙したり言葉を失ったりする瞬間があります。きっかけは決して特別な出来事ではありません。道で声をかけてくれた店主の優しさや相手をせかさず大切にしようとする振る舞いなど、日本では当たり前とされる小さな思いやりでした。海外ではそうした気遣いが珍しいからこそ、彼女たちはこれは人生が変わるほどの体験だったとまで語ります。今回は日本人男性のさりげない優しさに心を動かされた外国人女性たちのリアルな声を見ていきましょう。
Me and my friend are talking about how Japanese guys are really good. You know? And we think it's because they care about the woman, right?
They care about the woman.
They go slow. And they do the foreplay.
Yeah.
They always do the foreplay. Be careful. Like if you are gonna get in with a Japanese man, it could change your life. It changed my life.
It changed my life.
Yes. Hi guys, I'm crying on the streets of Kyoto right now because we went into this really nice man's shop. He was so kind to us. He showed us his origami and he offers us tea, but we couldn't stay. So I would like to share his shop. This is what it looks like. And if you would like to see him and his mom, it's just up the stairs next to the Cocoon store. It's just up these stairs. So please go visit him and I'll put the name of his shop because I feel so warm inside right now. And we tried to let him keep the change, but he wouldn't take it. So please go visit him in Kyoto.
So Shinji is grandpa in the neighborhood, and no, they are not blood related, but family is not always blood. So 3 years ago, Roman and Shinji met as we moved into the neighborhood, and Roman did not know how to speak Japanese at first, but language should never be a barrier for any type of friendship, relationship, or even to just say hello. You have body expressions, just being in the presence of each other, and that's what they did, just the presence and be. Long story short, Roman went to Japanese school and started communicating with his neighbors and with our friends, and he learned the language. So yes, he is fluent in Japanese. And Shinji is 72 years old and he does not have any grandkids. So it has been a beneficial situation both ways. There's no take. It's all a revolving door with these two. They have done everything you can imagine: museums, festivals, parks, walking the dog, taking road trips, and Roman will go over there sometimes and spend a couple hours with him just playing ball for hours on hours, and they just love being in each other's presence. It's just nothing but laughs. When I'm at my house, I just hear them just laughing outside constantly, and I am so grateful. Shinji has even supported my business, and a funny story is when we first moved here, I had lost my dog and my child in the neighborhood. They went for their little long walk without me, and I knocked on my neighbor's door and I freaked out, and he immediately alerted all the neighbors. They got a truck with a speaker and said, "Hey, lost dog and child in the neighborhood." 15 minutes later, my kids were returned to me, and it is normal to give a 10% reward to whoever finds your lost items, but what is the price of a kid and a dog, right? It's priceless. So I just walked around and gave gifts to the neighbors that had supported, this challenge of me finding my kids. And The neighbors have always just been watchful of them, ever since that moment. And that was like my real introduction into the neighborhood. But yes, those are a few of the things about Roman and Sinji. Grandma is around, but she's very active in her community. So she's there sometimes, but for the most part, Sinji is Roman's best friend and his to-go-to person. And yes, Roman does have other child friends from school and other areas, but Sinji is his person. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful and wonderful day.
Hasi.
おかしいね。
あげなかったから今は食べる方があまりわからない。
知らないんちゃうか。
唐揚げ食べたいですか？
食べたい？
食べたい。
あった。
ある？
本当に？
あ、本当に？
ディズニーみたいに。
何を見たい？
ディズニーみたいに。
ディズニーがあまり気がないから。じゃあ箸をありがとうございます。
いやごめんなさい、ありがとうございます。
ジャパニーズキャンディー。おー、ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
バイ。
ありがとうございます。
Okay, here's a story about Japan and grief and when they just decided to not let permanent residents enter the country during the pandemic for about 8 months, which like the whole world just kind of didn't talk about, particularly in Japan, and like nobody got any crap for doing that. And my mom was dying of cancer during this time, and I had to call up immigration. And first I called up immigration. This is really important. So I'm like, hey, does anybody speak English at immigration? Absolutely not. Nobody speaks English at immigration. That's fine. So I had to get through in Japanese, which is like fine. And I was explaining that my mother has cancer and that she's dying and I need to go home. And they had just announced the humanitarian reasons for going home. And the person said to me, "Mada shindanai ne?" Which basically means, is she dead yet? So, yeah, that's just a story I wanted to share.
These are some of the kind things strangers in Japan have done for me. Starting up the list strong, it was my very first time visiting Osaka, and I was taking a stroll around the Osaka castle when this kind elderly Japanese man stops me and my friend. He wanted to make us an origami to welcome us to Japan. And as you can see by the people passing by, we weren't the only ones pleasantly surprised by this sweet moment. He talked to us for a little bit and then handed over our bird origami.